Hello and welcome to another tutorial by yours truly. Not that long ago I talked about creating introductions, so it seems only reasonable that I should talk about creating extended endings and codas, especially when they're not written into the song. Now the vast majority of songs end on the tonic note. If I were in the key of C, that would be C. If I were in the key of F, that would be F, so on and so forth. So in the key of F, I'm going to just do a quick little 2-5-1 ending, and you'll see what I mean. So there is my tonic note. Now occasionally they do end on the mediate, the third of the scale. The song that comes to mind is We've Only Just Begun. So I'll set up the ending of it. Note of the scale. Now occasionally they do end on the dominant. Another Carpenter song, Rainy Days and Mondays Always Get Me Down, does exactly that. So any note of the one triad is a possible ending note. In C, you could end on C, E, or G, on F, F, A, C. Now the simplest way to extend an ending is simply create a plagal cadence by the use of the 4 chord. So let me pick up a simple, how about the birthday song? And I'm going to move things into C. It'll be a little easier for you to follow, I hope. Plagal cadence. I could have used the minor form of the 4 chord. Or maybe a combination of both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A simple walk down from the 4 chord, say a 4 to a 3 chord, to a 2 chord, and on to a 1 chord, happens all the time. In fact, the Beatles did that. Now, because it's an ending of a song, we can do it in or out of tempo. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Or perhaps a retard. You can slow it down, speed it up, whatever you want. It's the ending, it's your ending. So we could have both are quite acceptable. Now there is one problem with staying on the tonic. A triad can be stark. Even if I add a 6 to it, well, it fills in the harmony, but usually creates an unsatisfactory result. So it is expected, of course, you're going to play the final note. But whether that note is heard for 8 beats or only a value of an 8th note, the fact that you struck the note, you're off the hook. You're free to move to another note to create a more interesting final chord. In fact, the 5 chord can move directly to the 4 chord, creating a deceptive cadence followed by your walk down. Say something like, there's my 4 chord, then my walk down. But as I reach the bottom, I don't want to stay in that tonic, I want to move somewhere else, probably a major 7. Or I could have moved up to a major 9. Any note but the tonic. We had to hit it because that was the end of the song, but once we've done it, our duty's over, we can go wherever we want. Another jazzier way of doing a walk down is go from the 4 chord to a flat 3 chord, that's the E flat, down to the D flat, which is a flat 2 chord, and we know that flat 2 chords and the 5 chords share the same tritone, and because of that, both are quite happy to move to the 1 chord. And again, notice that I got off the tonic and used the major 7. Or I could have gone up to the mediate, or even the dominant. Now another fun thing to try is a cycle of 4s. That's up 4, those are all primary movements, and it takes you literally outside of the key, and it's just kind of a fun way of ending a song. I'll give you an example. I'm coming into the ending, 2, the D minor, 5, G11, G7 flat 9, and instead of the C chord, I'm going to go to the B flat chord. I'm going to use the final melody note. Up 4 to the E flat, up 4 to the A flat, up 4 to the D flat, which of course is the flat to a C, and we'll let it drop onto the final C chord. Has a nice flavor to it. I mean, you can get carried away. You could do a lot more of those. Say, maybe back up to here, the flat 2, and drop onto the C chord. In fact, you don't even have to end on the key that you started. Since you're introducing chords that have nothing to do with the key anyway, you could end on any key you wanted. Here I am in C. Now I'm in the key of E flat, 3 flats. Many songs have codas written right into the song. Now, a good example of that is the Louis Armstrong version of What a Wonderful World. Now, for this coda, the arranger will use a 2-bar section out of the song that connects the second verse to the bridge. I think you'll recognize it. So I'm coming in near the end of the second verse. Section I want you to remember. Using a little pedal point here. G minor over F. And then it would normally go into the bridge. And so on and so forth. Let's play the end of the song without the coda. And I think you'll find it's a little on the flat side. I mean, it's okay, but the coda certainly brings it to life. So, taking it into the coda now. Instead of going to the tonic note, he goes up to the mediate, the 3rd of the scale. You know there's more to come. Then he goes to the flat 7. In this case, an E flat 9, augmented along. Then he drops onto a D9. Which is tonicization. It's the 5 of the 2 chord, 5 of G minor. And now this nice little walk up, keeping the same melody. And remember that little tie-in that I mentioned between the second verse and the bridge, puts it in here. Oh, that's much better. Now the last 2 examples are songs that I've created, both introductions and codas, with the idea of providing continuity of the song from start to finish. Now these 2 examples, I will play both intro and the coda so that you'll be able to see and hear how they support one another. Just remember that intros and codas are pretty well the last thing you would ever write when doing an arrangement. The intro sets up the feeling of the song's arrangement. If you don't know what the arrangement is, how can you set it up? And of course the coda should tie the whole thing together. So the song I picked is When Sunny Gets Blue. And two things I wanted to bring into the song. I wanted to bring in some blues notes. Now, When Sunny Gets Blue is not really blues, but the fact that they say blue, I want to get in some blues notes just for the fun of it. And the other thing that I wanted to pick up in the introduction was the fact that the song has this movement by step and chromatic movement coming down. So I wanted to pick that up in the introduction. So here we go, in the key of E flat. There's my first blue note. My second blues note. Here's that shifting around and into the song. Okay, now when I come into the coda, modulated from E flat into F1 flat, and I happen to be up in the upper register at the time of the ending, and if I didn't use the coda, this is probably how it would have ended. But I wanted to do a little more than that, so I'm going to try and tie it in. Here it is with the coda I use, and I'll kind of explain what's going on in the coda as I'm doing it. Same spot. Setting this up for a turnaround. Little alteration of the melody here, so I can get that flat 9 on the D7 chord, which gives it that bluesy sound. And a flat 3 on that C chord, which is actually an augmented 9. And my last example is I Loves You Porgy from great Gershwin musical Porgy and Bess. So two things I wanted to accomplish here. I wanted to use a pedal point, a droning sound, using the tonic note, in this case in E flat. I could have used the dominant. Those are the two that you can use for pedal point. I chose the tonic to be on. And the other thing, the song has, again, like Sunny Gets Blue, it has some walk-ups and walk-downs, such as walk up and a walk down. So I wanted to again incorporate that style into my introduction. So here it goes. Now I'm going to move into the key of F. And here's that walk up. Adds continuity to the song itself. Now to the coda. Almost ended here, and drag it out a bit. Well, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed learning about the extended endings and codas. Completed versions of the examples that I use in this presentation are of course found on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe because that's really important. And until next time, keep the music coming and bye for now.